So Flux is out for image generation, but what makes it really, really powerful, we can use LORAs and we can now use the control nets, which just got released by X Labs. I want to show you guys how it works and how you might be able to use it to get the style that you're looking for. First of all, if you want to install it, I'll send the links for this, but you're going to go to the XFlux ComfyUI page. They've got installation instructions that are pretty straightforward. You launch it, you download a bunch of models, and you move them into the right folders. These are the models right here. And at the top of the page, they have this workflows thing with all the sample workflows. I'll link all this, but it's all there for you. You know, out of the box, we're getting pretty cool stuff. I'm going to break it all down for you to show you exactly how to use them and at least how I was getting results. We got a bunch of new LORAs. I mean, if we want to start here with furry, that's kind of like the most interesting sounding one to me. So what I've done here is I set up two images side by side so that we can kind of see. Original on this side with the LORA on this side, and we're using the furry LORA. So here we go. This is the final result. You can kind of see it's a little bit more furry. I mean, the original is pretty nice already. This one, the LORA one, does have a little bit more detail in the fur. You know, something I was playing with is like this kind of a prompt. You can run it with just one side. So if I run it without the top clip, which is I guess the clip L, I get a more realistic style. But you could also see with the furry LORA, it does look more shaggy, got more detail in that fur, which is really cool. Let's try without the bottom. And by the way, all of these images are the same seed, fixed, same steps, same everything else. The only difference is one of them has a LORA over here, and one doesn't. All right, so again with the LORA, you can see there's more detail in the fur, but you know, this time we only use the top, and you got this like really cartoony style where the last one was kind of more realistic. So maybe when you put both of them, it kind of does something in between. You know, just something to experiment with. You know, I think the big LORA that like a lot of people will be interested in is anime. For me, I'm going to use, let's say a girl rooftop. So I do think we need this anime word here. We can try with and without it though, and we'll see. So you can see with the original, it does give us this like anime style, and the LORA actually gives us a more detailed kind of like painterly, artistic, maybe concept art, maybe Miyazaki style, where this kind of gives us a more flat anime style. Let's try it without the anime word. When I was testing this earlier without the anime word, it doesn't give me anything. Like it doesn't give me the anime at all. So let's give it a shot. Yeah, see, so without anime in the prompt, you know, these are really cool still, but they're both like realistic style. I actually even got more detail in the like roof over here, the one with the anime LORA. So this is the anime LORA, but without anime in the prompt, it kind of just adds detail to, or it adds detail in the background at least. Actually, and you know, these shoulders and some of this have some different looks. There's a knife here, which is kind of cool, but without anime in the prompt, it doesn't give you anime. So just something to be aware of. I guess that's the trigger word. I could show you where I found those, but let's kick off another. How about we try out the let's try out the MJV6 cyberpunk woman in a futuristic exosuit, advanced technology. Let's say reflective spaceship environment. Now this one does not seem to require a trigger word. Let me kick this off real quick. And you know, going back a step to the Flux page, if you check out the LORA collections tab, it'll show you like a breakdown of what their images were, and you can actually see the prompt that they used, like on each of these. I just noticed that, under furry, for example, like this one, they both had the furry. Maybe that's a trigger word. It doesn't say anywhere if this is a trigger word or not, but I think it does help the prompt. This one did not have anything. This is the MJ V6, which we're doing right now in the background. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. But this one, for example, the anime one, this is anime LoRa, has anime in the prompt. So it might be the trigger word. This is another anime example. And at the end of the prompt, it does say anime. So that's kind of where I got the idea to use them. So if you ever are not sure, just come back to the documentation over here. And like we could see the MJV6 LoRa right here. It did add a lot of detail, especially to this armor, intricate details over here inside the armor, compared to this mesh. Really, really powerful. And I think one of the other interesting ones, like if we try the realism, if I actually try realism on this exact prompt, and it's actually fairly similar, but I think where realism kind of comes in handy are non-human things. All right, so here we got this prompt I did about a can, a product shoot with some lava. We got a lot of detail with the exact shape of what we want on this can. All right, so this is the realism LoRa, and we got, first of all, a lot of detail in this area added, especially more of these like flowy streaks. Text is really cool. We lost some of this like blue detail, which was kind of nice actually, but the overall detail, like around the eyes and in the horns, I think it did. And the lava, like there's some. This is like a really blurry blob. This has got like, kind of looks like molten glass. A splash has a little bit more smaller particles. So we did get a lot of detail, especially like around the eyes and the skull. Even these flourishes look a little bit more intricate, like slightly more detail, more line work maybe. So I think this is the somewhere that the realism LoRa kind of shines. Let's try the Disney one. All right, so I'm gonna go for this Pitbull puppy prompt, and I am gonna add Disney style to the end of it. And again, Disney style is just from we're back at the Hugging Face Flux LoRa collection documentation. They have the Disney LoRa examples, and both of them have Disney style at the end, just Disney style. I do think it needs this to work properly. All right, so we can see here we got a lot of detail in this like little kind of like the fur renders. They're both this like looks really plush right here, so a little bit of soft lighting, adding that LoRa in. I'll try one more. This one is a little bit tricky, the scenery LoRa, and I'll show you why. It's all right, so I have this forest cityscape prompt that I want to try out. When I did this before, it didn't work, but I'm going to show you how to make it work. So I'm not expecting this one to work. Let's see first. Let's see. Oh, and you'll notice again, I added scenery style with the scenery LoRa. So like I was saying, like at first I think this kind of looks like a big fail, just because like what is this? It kind of just like made everything really abstract or painterly. I kind of feel like I lost detail. And I found out through experimentation, all of that comes from the strength. So we've been using a 0.9 strength for most of these. The scenery one, for whatever reason, it is so strong that it breaks up the image. So if you turn this way down, like I'm going to turn this to 0.35 and run it again, we should see a big difference, and it should actually work as you would expect. So boom, check this out. With a much lower LoRa strength, I've got almost like the same shape, basically the same environment, but I mean, so much more detail. I mean, both look great, but I think this is what the LoRa is supposed to be doing. It's supposed to like make it make your scenery even more detailed. The other really powerful tool is the ControlNet. They added a ControlNet controls. So I'm going to show you how I use them. All right, so I'm going to kick this off with no lore. This is just straight prompt. So this is just a regular Flux prompt. This is how Stable Diffusion and actually Midjourney too kind of handles magic, any kind of magic prompt or fantasy art style prompt. It gives you a little bit like around the hands, maybe in certain areas. But if you want something with like more, like swirling all around, more powerful, more impactful, it's really hard to prompt for it. You can get it with like in painting. I haven't been able to get it out of the prompt itself in Stable Diffusion or Midjourney, but DALL-E does a really good job. So what I'm going to do is use a DALL-E control net, like input image as a control net, and try to get that to render properly or render more powerfully with Flux. So the way that you do that is first you need to load the image, and then we're going to load the Flux control net, and you apply the Flux control net. So the image goes here, control net goes here, and I'm going to use the depth control net, and then you just plug this into here in the XLab sampler. Like they have a special control net condition input, and just so that we see what this is doing, first of all, I need a depth map like preprocessor. So I'm going to use this one. I find that this one gives me like decent results. And we'll preview this image just so that we can kind of see what that looks like. Oh, actually, this is not the image. I actually had a similar image that I had kind of ready. I'm going to run this and let me compare. I'm going to just drag this over temporarily so that we can compare. This is my DALL-E image. DALL-E, I feel like one area that it really shines is like fantasy style. Like it gives you really nice detail with this magic look. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, right? Like you can kind of take a DALL-E image that you like the overall composition and look and try to apply it to a Flux render. All right, so what it's doing on the back end is it's taking that DALL-E image and it's generating this depth map. The LORAs depth map for me gives me a lot of detail. All right, so it's a huge upgrade from, without the depth map. You're getting the same like overall pose composition, these big magic swirls. I think this could be a little bit better over here on this side. Like this, for whatever reason, it got really faded. So I might try like a different seed. But way crisper face. The DALL-E version kind of like loses detail in skin, right? And you're not getting that. You're getting all of that back in the Flux version. You're still getting these swirly lines. Maybe the DALL-E ones are a little bit, nicer. So maybe I have to, I could up the resolution on my depth map if I wanted to. Right now it's at 512. Maybe I bump that up, but I'm getting all the Flux detail in this like intricate armor. This cloth I think is doing a really great job. And some of the lighting, like the volumetric lighting, it's pretty nice in this. Overall, like this is kind of where you're using your control nets to enhance what Flux cannot do, or Stable Diffusion in general just can't do without taking what DALL-E does best, and when you're taking what Flux does best and you're just like combining them. So the other control nets right now, aside from depth, are Canny and Head. Both of these are different style. Canny is really great at getting these like fine details by creating like little indicators or like scribble lines of where the details in the overall shape should go. And Head, it's a little bit like softer lines that gives you broader shapes. Both are, I think, are significantly faster to load than depth. So, you know, if you can get away with using those to get the look that you want, definitely worth trying. Each one of those will need their own preprocessor. So we had the depth map preprocessor, but there's also a canny preprocessor. So this guy right here, and a head preprocessor. And basically what these preprocessors do is it converts your input image. So let's say this is your, well, let's go on the actual. If this is your input image, it will convert it to these lines that the ControlNet actually uses. So that is how you use the LORAs and ControlNets for Flux in ComfyUI. This is a brand new channel, so please like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. Happy creating, and I will see you in the next video.